This video is sponsored by Antstream Arcade, and I wanted to show this service on the Xbox. I'm playing on an Xbox Series X and a wired up internet service, and I have experience with Antstream. I showed this on the Atari VCS. You can also play this through PC. Lots of different ways of experiencing over 1,000 different arcade and classic computer games and a whole lot more, even indie games. There's so much on the service. And so, you know, it shows the top ranked games. I wanted to show my favorite of all time, Robotron 2084. I can't tell you how much I love this game. It's simply fantastic, and it's running great on this service. I know there's a lot of people out there that just want a game, that want to hunt for ROMs, they want to play the legal route. This is a service for you. I know there's a lot of different ways of playing these classic games, but this is a great option, especially on an Xbox console. And it's really great to see this. Another favorite of mine is Ninja Gaiden Arcade. It plays so different than, you know, the NES version I grew up with. I actually played the NES one so much. It was weird going back to the arcade and playing this one. What's kind of cool about this one, though, is you can throw people into, like, you know, phone booths and all sorts of things. I'm getting kind of worked here. But pretty awesome. You can hang off of signage and stuff and, you know, whack the enemies. You know, a lot of enemies that look like Jason. And anyways, going back to this game, awesome to see it. It's got the arcade sounds and gameplay. You can play for a score. You know, so there's two different service mode options. You can play for a year for 30 bucks or get a lifetime access to this for 80. And so I think that's great. You can spend gems, and you can earn those gems by achievements, and you also can get gems different ways, but you can use gems to then enter tournaments and different challenges and stuff. This is Pinball Dreams, and this is Ignition. They have all of the different pinball boards on this separate, but it's really neat to see these types of games being, you know, honored and have everybody has access to them. It's so great that there's a service now where people can play these games that are long gone. You may remember growing up with this. This is a game that I remember playing on my friend's Amiga briefly back in the day. So this is awesome to see this. As you know, Pinball Dreams is a fantastic video game pinball game, and really enjoy that. Really a big fan of video game pinball games, and so this is a classic, and I know some others remember this as well. And so yes, awesome to see this, as there's so many great titles in a wide variety of games on this service. I mean, all the specky games, there's tons. There's Grid Runner here. I don't have a lot of experience playing the specky version of Grid Runner, so it was nice to go back. It shows how to play each game. There's a virtual keyboard, which you saw a little bit earlier. And sometimes when you have to press that, easy to access. And anyways, here's Grid Runner for the specky, and I know there's a lot of people, especially overseas, that probably grew up with this timeless classic. You know, Jeff Minter was amazing and made so many countless amazing classic computer games for different platforms. But yeah, you know, this is playing and looking awesome. And so, yep, got zapped. Pretty tough game. But maybe you haven't played this version. Well, there's several different versions of games as well, especially for classic computer games. Antstream Arcade offers different versions of several classics, so it's nice to see that it's offering different versions, and it's easily to identify them as well. And so going here, you know, searching around, you know, I'm kind of a big fan of arcade games, and one game that I keep going back to that's an arcade game that kind of gets overlooked is Bomb Jack. And, you know, there's many different versions of this game, and you in the comments let me know which version you played. I know there's a C64 version, but going back and playing the arcade game, you know, I really like this one. I'm not too good at it, but I do enjoy playing it. And, you know, I grew up playing the NES version too. And I know a lot of people have different opinions of the NES one, but this one is classic, and a lot of people grew up with it, and there's lots of different versions of it. But it's nice to see the arcade one here with the arcade sounds and graphics. As you know, a lot of people, you know, the arcade version is typically the best version, right? And so nice to see this. And the wide variety of games is crazy on this service. I think it's totally worth it, and it's a service that, you know, I promoted for the Atari VCS when that came out. You know, I was really thinking that was an awesome service. Well, now it's on a more mainstream console. I think that's fantastic. You can also play this on PC. This is a kind of an overlooked gem for the Super Nintendo, and this is Indiana Jones Adventures. And I think this is Indiana Jones Greatest Adventures is the whole title. But yeah, you know, taking that, I do believe the same engine as Star Wars looks that way. And fantastic, you know, going back and reenacting parts of the movie with additional things that weren't in the movie, and pretty cool. I like this first scene. Kind of you get kind of a taste of kind of what to expect. You can take a certain amount of hits, and it is a fairly challenging platformer with things to, you know, it's kind of like got the Pitfall Harry style gameplay mixed with, you know, classic Indiana. So yes, do you remember playing that? And one of my favorites on the C64, actually, I like the Coleco version as well, and that's Jumpman JR. This is on a couple different platforms, and I like bumping up the speed, the run speed to like 2 or 1. Really like this though. It's a great little classic computer game where, you know, it has great music, and even the death scenes are kind of funny. But yeah, this is a cute little classic computer game that kind of gets overlooked by bigger titles such as Donkey Kong. But I really enjoy this one. This one it was even on the Apple II, I believe. And, you know, it's not the original Jumpman, should I mention. But yeah, I like this one. This is a classic computer game. And these are the types of games I like to go back to, these bite-sized gaming experiences. And, you know, there's lots of classics on this service. But one thing that appeals to me is some of the obscure stuff that's included that I didn't even know anything about. Psycho Nick's Oscar. And I do believe this is a Data East game. And this is a, you know, it tells you the year that it came out. And it shows you the gameplay style using a standard Xbox One controller. And you can go for a high score. You can just play the game. I like just to play games and check things out. That's kind of how I roll. I'm not a, you know, a speed runner. I'm not a person to try to beat games. I just like to play games. And this is kind of a cool game because it kind of like a cross between Gradius and like a mech game. And I didn't know anything about this game. You know, there's so many games that are out there that, you know, I try to inform myself and try to experience something. It's great. I mean, I've never seen this arcade game. Don't know how rare it is, but I've never seen it before. So it's nice to see this and check it out. Kind of a cool little mech game. And it's got some classic gameplay style like the power-ups system. And then you have Sky Adventure. And this is a obscure SNK arcade game. And it's got, you know, classic weird, you know, pre-Neo Geo kind of. SNK made some cool, really cool shooters, and this is one I've never played before, and so it's kind of nice to go back and check out Sky Adventure, and, you know, experience games that are so obscure that, you know, I've played a lot of things, so it's nice to know that there's still stuff out there that's new, and it's kind of exciting to play a new game. And I don't know how great this game is, but it's still neat to see a new game by SNK that I didn't know about. Has anybody else played this? Do you remember growing up with Sky Adventure? In the comments below, let me know. It's got some kind of cool power-ups, and it kind of has a cross between like 1942 and something totally different. But, you know, a lot of people out there, they want to play the classics. So far, and right now, Smash TV is the #1 hit, and rightfully so. You know, it's pretty much a spiritual successor to Robotron 2084, done by same developer. And so, yeah, so, you know, seeing this game is fantastic. This is a fun game. Pretty violent. I'm still a fan of Robotron 2084 over this, but this is up there. And I know a lot of people are big Smash TV fans, so enjoy this. Plays great. You can play co-op, and so no problem. And so if you have a decent connection, I'm actually using this wirelessly now, and it's playing pretty good. But definitely wired, you're going to get a better connection. But anyways, you can get this service $30 for a year, or a lifetime pass edition, $80. and some change. And so what do you think in the comments below? Let me know. And I want to thank everybody for watching this video. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you have a good day.